Garing Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Garing Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vigari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bhagavad Gita cities Chapter 11 The Universal Form Text 48 Na veda-yajña adhyayanair Na dānair na śakyaḥ Na tapobhir ugraiḥ evam-rūpaḥ śakyaḥ nṛ-loke draṣṭuṁ tvat anyena kuru-pravīra Never veda-yajña by sacrifice adhyayanaiḥ or Vedic study never dānair by charity never also kriyābhir by pious activities never tapobhir by serious penances ugraiḥ severe evam-rūpaḥ in this form śakya can aham I nṛ-loke in this material world draṣṭuṁ be seen tvad then you, anyena, by another, kuru-pravīra, O best among the Guru warriors. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation by Kaitli, repeat. O best of the Guru warriors, please repeat.
O best of the Guru warriors,
No one before you has ever seen this universal form of mind. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world. Purport. The divine vision in this connection should be clearly understood. Who can have divine vision? Divine means godly. Unless one attains the status of divinity as a demigod, he cannot have divine vision. And what is a demigod? It is stated in the Vedic scriptures that those who are devotees of the Lord Vishnu are demigods. Vishnu Bhaktas Smrito Daiva. Those who are atheistic, that is, who do not believe in Vishnu or who recognize only the impersonal part of Krishna as the Supreme, cannot have the divine vision. It is not possible to decry Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. One cannot have the divine vision without becoming divine. In other words, those who have divine vision can also see like Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita gives the description of the universal form. Although this description was unknown to everyone before Arjuna, now one can have some idea of the Vishwarupa of this incident. Those who are actually divine can see the universal form of the Lord, but one cannot be divine without being a pure devotee of Krishna. The devotees, however, who are actually in the divine nature and who have divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of the Lord. As described in the previous verse, Arjuna described to see the four-handed form of Lord Krishna as Vishnu, and he was actually afraid of the universal form. In this verse there are some insignificant words, just like veda-yajñādhyayanair, which refers to studying Vedic literature and the subject matter of sacrificial regulations. Veda refers to all kinds of Vedic literatures, such as 4 Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Samam, Atharva, and the 18 Pranas, the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. One can study these at home or anywhere else. Similarly, there are sutras, Kalpa Sutras and Mīmāmsa Sutras for studying the method of sacrifice. Dānair refers to charity which is offered to suitable party, such as those who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Similarly, pious activities refer to the Agnihotra and the prescribed duties of the different castes. And the voluntary acceptance of some bodily pains is called a tapasya. So one can perform all these, can accept bodily penances, give charity, study the Vedas, etc. But unless he is a devotee like Arjuna, it is not possible to see that universal form. Those who are impersonalists are also imagining that they are seeing the universal form of the Lord. But from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that impersonalists are not devotees. Therefore, they are unable to see the universal form of the Lord. There are many persons who create incarnations. They falsely claim as an ordinary human being, meant to be incarnation. But this is all foolishness. We should follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita, otherwise there is no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. Although Bhagavad Gita is considered the preliminary study of the science of God, still it is not so perfect that it enables one to distinguish what is what. The followers of pseudo incarnation may say that they have also seen the transcendental incarnation of the God, the universal form, but that is unacceptable because it is clearly stated here that unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot see the universal form of God. So one first of all has to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Then he can claim that he can show the universal form of what he has seen. A devotee of Krishna cannot accept false incarnations or followers of false incarnations. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishaya Bole Samade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyatya Deshadharini Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Kadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Varunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for all of you for giving me a chance to talk about these things. I am also equally requesting all the Vaishnavas to bless me to give this lecture in the line of our parampara. This sloka is very important in the concept. Krishna very clearly mentions here to see him or to see Vishwarupa. These are all not possible. veda-yajña, adhyayanaiḥ, dānair, kriyābhir, tapobhir, ugraiḥ. All of these things will not help. Because generally we need to put effort for everything to happen in material world. But in spiritual world it is different. Therefore, Krishna is giving a idea of what should be. Here, what cannot do it. One can be very well versed with the Vedas. Prabhupada is mentioning the purport. Veda means 4 Vedas, Śakya, Yajur, Sam, Atharva, and 18 Pranas, the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. All these things one may be master, but still there is no guarantee they can see Krishna. And also by sacrifices, so many sacrifices you can do. Veda-yajña. Adhyayanaiḥ means Vedic study, not Vedic study. Dānair, you can give big charity, not that. Kriyābhir, that all pious activities. They are all, you can do the best, but still tapobhir, tapas, very high tapas. And still you cannot say evam-rūpaḥ śakya. Aham, in this material world you cannot see in this form. And this is the main theme of this sloka, because one may not able to get the Lord or see the Lord by simple all these efforts. But at the same time, he has repeated this concept in 8th chapter, last sloka also, similar to this, that he gives in other way. 8th chapter, last sloka, Lord is giving veda-yajñeshu tapasaiva dānesu yat punyavalam pradishtam atyedi tarsarvamidam viditva yogi paramsthanam upaidhi. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the result derived from sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruity activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains to all these, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Please kindly try to link both things. In this he is telling not sufficient, but in the 8th chapter, last sloka, is very clearly mentioning who accepts the path of devotional service. He is not losing anything, results derived from Vedesu, all studying the Vedas, the benefit of all studying Vedas, he is not losing. Yajna is the benefit of conducting all yajna is not losing. And he is getting the results, he get all the results. Dāna is all charity, same thing. The answer is here. Because one need not to be very expert in yajna, dāna, tapa, Vedas and all those things, but simply executing the devotional service benefits. And also in addition, simply by performing devotional service, attain all these. Therefore, even though he is not good at things by devotional service, he goes back to Krishna, goes back to Godhead. These are main advantage. All these benefits automatically. Be very careful. Give importance to only this, all this studying under yajna, dāna, tapa. But almost devotional platform, without being in a devotional platform, you do any of these things, you will be misled. You can have it. Now certainly Prabhupada has mentioned, devotion without knowledge is sentiments. You should have knowledge, devotional knowledge, not in a material platform. The Vedas are studied, and even Mayavadis also, but we devotees should take it in a more spiritual platform. Even Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada mentioned thousands of translations and purports are available. But we took it very special of Prabhupada things because in the devotee by devotional platform. Therefore, any shastra, anything which is completely on devotional platform, that will enhance your devotional activities. But if you try to understand which is not in the readings or doing tapas, dāna and all things, which is not coming under devotional platform, that is not going to help you for any future devotional service. Therefore, one can accept all these things which is subject to devotional service, devotional platform. This way, this yajna, dāna, tapasu and all those things, both the slokas mention the same items. And we have to be very careful when you are accepting some studies, some shastras, some dāna, some tapas, something and all those things. Whether it is going to enhance my devotional activities. And that should be my first question before accepting any of these things. Then it's okay. It should enhance for even worshipping demigods. It can be accepted if you can direct for this Krishna service. And that should be the goal of all these activities. Otherwise, these activities will mislead. We may get into the material platform. There is a very carefully we need to do karma-bir. They are telling karma-kanda. These are karma-kanda activities, ritual things, pious activities. If you are so much concentrated on pious activities, you may not be able to concentrate devotion. Because in devotional service, what is pious, what is impious is decided by different level of measurement, not by this way. And therefore, one should be very carefully take the devotional, all these things by devotees, suggested by devotees, practiced by devotees, advised by devotees, guided by devotees. We should take all these things. Then it is devotional service, all activities. Without anything, devotees, we try to follow so many. Now in this modern time in ISKCON also we follow so many activities, new things, which Prabhupada now recommended and all these things, whether subject to devotion, whether helps for devotion, nothing like that. Most of them we get deviated and we may not be able to go through. This is one of the main purport of the sloka. And Prabhupada very well clearly tells, you should be divine. Divine vision can be connected to only for divine things. Divine means godly. Unless one attains status of divinity as a demigod, means one should be very divine nature. And you remember that before showing the Vishwarupa, what Krishna is telling is Divya Sakshu. He is telling, I will give divine vision. You cannot see with this vision, normal vision. Divya Sakshu. I give divine vision, then you can see it. Therefore, one should be very pure devotee to have this type of divine vision of Lord. Otherwise, we may have some imagination and have our own speculated vision as a divine vision. This will happen. Divine vision will be misinterpreted, misunderstood once you are not in a pure stage. Pure devotional stage, you can understand divine vision. Otherwise, some concocted or misrepresented vision one will take as a divine vision. This is the weakness. Somebody, if they not pure, what they have vision of, so-called vision they have told they have of Lord, may not be divine vision. Therefore, divine vision needs divinity. Divinity means pure devotion to Lord Vishnu or Krishna. That is the way one can get divine vision. Then second point, Prabhupada insists on purport is, the devotees, they don't want to have even the divine vision, Vishwarupa. The devotees, however, who are not actually in the divine nature and who are divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of the Lord. Why? They are secondary things. They want to see, Prabhupada quotes in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna wants to see the 400 form, then 200 form after Vishwarupa. That is the one the real devotee wants. Therefore, in that context also, one should be very careful when you are ready to take the vision. What type of vision pure devotee wants? Even pure devotee doesn't want to see, even doesn't want to go to Vaikuntha, doesn't want to go even Kolaga. Wherever he wants to continue his devotional service. That is pure devotee's mode. Pure devotee never wants anywhere, any place, any circumstance, he continues his service to Lord. In this context, I remember one nice story, just I remembered. It is in the life of Ramanujacharya. You know, all of you know Ramanujacharya. He is one of the Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, very powerful. Very nice incident. He had one disciple, very special disciple, Anandalvan, who was serving flower service in Tirumala, Tirupati Tirumala. It's a very special nature. And one day, he was the disciple of Ramanujacharya. Once he was bitten by a snake. When he was serving, it was a forest. Even now, Tirumala is forest. Tirupati Tirumala is. He was bitten by a snake. And he was continuing his service without bothering anything. All other God brothers got very disturbed. They repeatedly told, go and take some treatment, take care of, and all those things. He didn't bother, he was continuing his service. Then all went and complained to Ramanujacharya. See, this Anandalvan is not taking care. He has been bitten, but he is not bothering and all those things. He is continuing his service, he is not listening to any of us. Please, kindly instruct him. Then Ramanujacharya called him, Anandalvan, please come here. What happened? Why are you not taking treatment when you have something? He was telling this nothing is something part of life. And he was telling, his words I remember, if the bitten one is strong, I leave this body and go and serve in Vishnu in the Vaikuntha. If I am stronger than the bitten one, I'll continue my service here. Anyway, my job is either to continue service here or there. It doesn't matter where I am going to serve. If I am living here, I am going to serve here. If I leave the body, I am going to serve there. It doesn't matter. That's why I don't bother. That's a faith, and that is the real mood of the pure devotee. He doesn't want liberation also. He doesn't want to Goloka, he doesn't Vaikuntha, you put him in any dirty place, he'll continue his service. You put him in a very high place, he equally does the service. That is the mood of, that's what Prabhupada mentioned here. Pure devotee doesn't want this. When doesn't want Vaikuntha, why wants this Swarupa and all those things? And devotee should develop slowly that mode. One is not interested very much to go to Vaikuntha Golaka pure devotee. Service, devotional service. In whatever be the context, whatever be the place, whatever be the environment, good or bad, or I like it or don't like it, it's comfortable, not comfortable. Many times when I talk to devotees, they want devotees of their comfort. Very few want what is uncomfortable also they take service. Most of them they want devotion service of their comfort. Then I'll joke them, you want to do devotional service as a hobby. You know hobby means? Whatever I like, some time pass. Not seriously. Anyway, you are better than something, but still, if you want real mercy, don't bother anything. That is the way one should continue devotional service. Like Anandalvan, it doesn't bother. That I am impressed very much by that incident, because always we are attached to this service, this what I like, this what I want, this I don't want, this I want, like that. You get any service to according to way it comes on, you see your life is so wonderfully tuned. And the main thing is your ego will be nullified. Because out of our ego only we want this type of service. When you don't have ego, you can do any service. And anywhere, any type of service, anywhere, any place, somebody will choice, this place only I'll go, this place I will not go, somebody will, this service I'll do, this I will not do. All these limitations limit our devotion. Devotional service, you should be free from all these conditions, and including whether Lord accepts or not accepts. That is important. Even Parambara accept, we are doing under the guidance of senior devotees or independently we are doing. Out of our whimsical nature we are doing something called a service, or we are instructed under the need we are doing. A devotee is one what is needed, doing what is needed, not one what he wants to do. But a majority we want to do what we want to do. That is, we call it devotional service. We don't think what is needed. We don't see what our instruction, what is instructed. Like a simple thing in a house, when you are cooking, what do you want? Then we cook. It's not for us. It is only for us, not for Krishna. Simple common understanding, you see. Every house they check what you want. Then we'll cook. A best devotee, he doesn't know what is cooked. Whatever comes, he takes and eat and go. The khichdi or the water pulao or any feast, both equal mood you should take. This devotee slowly they should cultivate this type of mode. Then what Prabhupada tells, that is the mode of a pure devotee who is not affected by anything. He will take everything and go smoothly. Otherwise the problem is we cannot advance in devotional service. Even in the devotional platform we will bring material desires, material conditions, material fights, material things. Everything comes in lie in the devotional platform. If you are not really acting in higher devotional platform, that is the problem. We get trouble in the devotional life. We get a problem in the devotional life. You adopt this mode, everywhere you can be happy. Every place you can be happy. Every activity, every service you can be happy. Whether cleaning the temple or doing the service, puja at the temple, or sitting as a manager or sitting as a servant, everything will make you happy. Because you are Atma Dripti. You get that your Atma is satisfied by devotional service. Otherwise, any great service, so-called great service you do also, your Atma is not satisfied. You will not be happy. And somebody may be cooking, somebody may be arranging, somebody may be passing, because everything is devotional. It's like Lord's feet to head, everything is equal. Similarly, all his services also equal. That mode we have to adopt. This is in the second paragraph, purport. Then third paragraph, when I was reading this thing, that also I mentioned, third paragraph. One main point I was thinking is that one Vishwarupa is very tough to see and other thing, but the material scientist, because my own experience, I was scientist in ISRO, I served things, and therefore when you go through the material platform, you can see its broader root. The second count of Lord is that Bhagavatam is explaining broader rupa. We may not be able to see Vishwarupa Lord, but the broader rupa we can see. We see the big trees, planets, and micro-organisms. With a microscope, we see very micro things, very big flights and other things, planets, satellites, and galaxy, Milky Way, so many things we go through. But we can understand, this is called Virarupa. When you see all these things, you will be able to see Lord's potential in everything. Like Virarupa, when you see the rivers are like his veins, and the trees are like his hairs and the body. Like that, everywhere you can recognize his things in mega form. And you can see we cannot create anything, who did everything and all those things. This science, if really somebody attempts sincerely, they may see Lord's broad rupa and can go to Krishna, understand Krishna this. I remember one nice incident in Isaac Newton. He was one of the scientists. He was in space dynamics, and he was very powerful, and his equations are still used. And he had one atheist friend. He is a very theist. He is having faith on God, but that atheist friend doesn't have faith. Therefore, once, when whatever he tells, the atheist friend tells, it comes on its own. This is atheist formula. Nobody created, it came on its own. That is his answer. Then one day, Newton was in his lab. He has worked several days and formed a micro prototype. Prototype means sample of solar system. The sun is in the middle, planets are rotating, Earth, Moon, all these planets are rotating the sun. One button you switch on, that all will rotate in different orbits. Different types, so wonderfully made. He was silently has made it and all this. One day the friend came, atheist friend. He took him to his laboratory and switched on the switch that the planet system was doing. First question that atheist friend asked, who did it? Then Newton nicely answered, it came on its own. Then how come it can come on its own? He argued. For such a small prototype, small things, you are telling how it can come on its own. Imagine how big these planets are, that billions of times bigger than this. Do you think it came on its own? This is the real way of science should bring us to the, if somebody sincerely goes through science and research, they'll come to Krishna. Because they know so big the world is, so big the Prapancha is, everything is from broad root. This Bhagavatam explained in the broad root forms. And the Prabhupada tells, you are able to make a flight, big flights. But can you make a micro flight like a mosquito? It is also flying. What is the mechanism it's getting? Can you make such a micro? You are making little big flights, but can you micro? Flying under syringe, taking blood, everything, what panda. And recently I studied one article that science is adopting Krishna's things. How means that when flight is flying supersonic speed. Now supersonic means above the speed of the wind. Then above the speed of the wind, within the speed of wind, the wind also goes along the flight, it do not block. But if the flight goes beyond the speed of the wind, that's called supersonic. The wind stops in particular fighter flights and it becomes like a wall. It's called choke. It stops like a wall. It will not allow the flight to move further. That was a big trouble in the science. And how to move the thing flight further. Then they studied the big bird, or like I forgot the name. It can fall down very fast from height and catch the flies. The speed is around 200 miles per hour. Such a speed it comes down. Then study the thing, it knows, it has like a cone, small cone it is there in the nose portion. Around the nose, the air goes and balance the system so that the bird doesn't get choked, doesn't get nostril blocked. And they researched that choke and they found, you can see in the flight also in the middle, big fighter flight jets and all those things, they have a cone, a cone type. And around that, the wind follows and they found it. They are duplicating Krishna's creation. This is real things. And similarly, many such things I can go on that line. Therefore, one person I came to my own experience is who cannot see Viswarupa by seeing the veda-rūpaḥ, Lord's nature, by nature, studying nature, looking nature. I am talking about space technology, which I am familiar. Some can through microbiology, micro these things, and that they can understand. Every step they go through, sincerely, without bias, with the utmost sincerity they go through, they end up with Krishna. Therefore, one's knowledge, one's intelligence, not bad, but they can sincerely use, they can direct to Krishna. This is the way our knowledge should be used, our tapas should be used, and austerity should be used, everything for understanding devotion service. Then it is not bad, otherwise it's not. Then when I was reading, first I remember this mathematics, there is one common word. It is necessary but not sufficient. Whenever that mathematics equation we write necessary and a sufficient condition. Means all these things may be necessary, dānair, tavad and all, but they are not sufficient. When it is sufficient, when Krishna's devotion service, perfect. And Krishna's devotion service gives all these things, at the end it will take you back to Godhead also. That is 8th chapter last sloka. Therefore Krishna has given very clear understanding, only devotees we need to follow. And in particular, our pure devotion service only help us to see things divine vision. We may not be able to get it divya sakshu, without divya sakshu cannot get. And if devotee, they don't want any not interested in these things also. Because Arjuna, he wanted first 400 form, then asked him to come to 200 form, Krishna's form. So beautiful, and Trivangi, and so loving nature, and that is the one devotee wants. This is the essence of this sloka as per my understanding. Devotees can comment, clarify questions, other things. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, this in ISKCON we have Bhakti-Vedanta Institute. So, how far it has been successful in preaching to the scientists and its field of it?
Actually, Bhakti-Vedanta Institute, they have some different branches in US as well as in India. And the thing is, they have come out with a lot of research papers. They have taken into account of many Nobel laureates, and they are going to know many conferences they have conducted. And this science is a vast field, and therefore now it's a progressive field, because now big problem in that thing is we need to give according to modern science, make them to understand. They are not devotees, pure devotees. Pure devotees, they don't need all these supports. Whenever you try to tell something, they need something science support also. Therefore, one should be well versed with the science, well versed with the spiritual things also. Then only it's good. That is one of the hurdles in spiritual, modern Vedic science, Bhakti-Vedanta preaching and all those things, or any science preaching. Because I remember my own example, when initially they asked me to start chanting, I was not comfortable. Why I should chant? It's like a small children memory poem. You ask them to read, but why so many times I should chant? One time enough, not enough. What is the chanting? Then I should be convinced by the chanting. One is by experience. Okay, when you chant, you get so much concentration, benefit, this. And the second thing is, you want some science support also. I found in my students' youth preaching, many students were interested because of this example. When TV is more attractive than the radio, why? Because two senses involved. Radio only one sense. And similarly, when you are chanting, you will be able to concentrate on all senses. Your mouth can tell the name, ear can hear, and eyes can see the Lord. By touching the tulsi beach, you can touch, and its flower, smell can go. All five senses, you will be able to concentrate in one activity. Your mind is very powerfully concentrated. This was scientific way of explaining the things. Not necessary for pure devotee, but for conditioned souls who came on the line of science, they need all this. Then they cannot think anything, do anything, because parantrishva nivartate. You have to give high taste, because other things will not stay. Even any other things you can do same thing, think and talk and all those things, but you get fried. But these devotional Krishna activities will never cry, because this highest taste, nothing can be higher than this. It comes by experience. Like this, I got convinced. Because I don't want to take it blindly. This is modern science trend of giving the knowledge, spiritual knowledge to modern science people. Hare Krishna. Any other questions, doubts, clarifications, suggestions, comments? It's over. Thank you very much for all of you.